Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. My name is Swanee, and for today's video I'm going to be going over the two brand new stratagems that we just got for Helldivers 2. Now these two weapons include the LAS-99 Quasar Cannon and the MG-101 Heavy Machinegun. Now these two weapons have been floating around in the leaks for quite some time now, so odds are you've probably already seen some leaked gameplay of them already, but today they've been officially released and everyone can finally get their hands on them. And after playing around with both of the weapons against both the Terminids and the Automatons, I gotta say there's some good news and some bad news. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first up, let's talk about the Quasar Cannon. Now as soon as I loaded up my very first match and I was able to use the Quasar Cannon for the very first time, I could immediately tell right away that this weapon was going to be something special. Now you can pick up the Quasar Cannon for just 7,500 requisition points, so it is the more expensive of the two, but trust me, it is definitely worth it. I would make it your top priority to go out and get this Quasar Cannon as soon as possible. Now the Quasar Cannon does have a slow charge up time. That's kind of the only downside with this weapon. You have to hold in the trigger to charge it up, and as you hold down the trigger to charge up this weapon, you're going to see the reticle is going to spin faster and it's going to get smaller the closer it gets to firing. Now what's really cool about this weapon is that it has unlimited ammo. Yes, unlimited ammo for what is basically a laser rocket launcher, which puts the Quasar Cannon in a completely different league than both the expendable anti-tank rifle and the recoilless rifle. Now before today, the go-to weapon to take out the bigger units like the Titans and the Chargers and the big robot Hulks and the tanks was the expendable anti-tank and the recoilless. Well, now there's no need for those because the Quasar Cannon, like I said, has unlimited ammo and it basically does the same amount of damage as those other two options. It will one-shot kill pretty much any bug that comes your way. It is amazing at taking out Chargers. Chargers are one of the biggest annoyances that I have when it comes to facing the Terminids because they just never leave you alone and they're pretty hard to take down. Well, with the Quasar Cannon, I was taking out Chargers left and right. Just one shot to the head and boom, they are gone. Same thing kind of goes for the Titans. Now the Titans can withstand more hits if you shoot them in the body, but if you're able to get a headshot, you can one-shot kill a Titan. Same thing goes for shooting the Automaton Hulks. If you shoot them dead center in their red eye, it will one-shot kill them, and I was also able to one-shot kill the big Hulk robots by shooting them in their weak spot on the back. The Quasar Cannon is also pretty good at taking out bug nests and robot factories if you line it up directly with the hole. And the Quasar Cannon is now my go-to weapon of choice for taking out those giant spores or the Shrieker nests from a safe distance. The Shriekers are an absolute pain in the butt and they hate when you get close to their nest, so you can easily just use the Quasar Cannon to take out their nest and cause them to despawn. I will say though that the Quasar Cannon has very little splash damage, so if you're trying to shoot it into a large crowd of enemies, like a large group of small bugs or a group of multiple robots all clustered together, it isn't going to do as much splash damage as you'd probably hope. This is probably one of the ways of balancing this weapon, and honestly, if it did do a lot of splash damage, it would probably be extremely overpowered, but in the state that it's in, I think this is a must-have weapon, and I think it's just absolutely awesome. But now, I want to talk about the MG-101 Heavy Machinegun, and sadly, I was pretty disappointed with this. Now, I tried and tried and tried to get some good gameplay of me using this Heavy Machinegun, and I just could not do it. I guess either I suck with this weapon, or the weapon itself sucks, but I could not do well with it. I mean, the difference is night and day. I picked up the Quasar Cannon and it blew me away. The ease of use for the Quasar Cannon is crazy. You just pick it up, hold in the trigger, and boom, whatever you're aiming at dies. But with the Heavy Machinegun, I was struggling to kill stuff. It just has so many downsides. So first up, you can purchase this Heavy Machinegun for just 6,000 requisition points, and I noticed already that in game they call it the MG-206 Heavy Machinegun, but in the promotional image that they posted on Twitter, they call it the MG-101 Heavy Machinegun. So I'm not exactly sure what it's actually called. Now it comes with 75 shots in the magazine, and it only comes with 2 magazines, and it has 3 different firing modes. And I have to mention how slow the reload time is. The reload time on this weapon is awful. Like, you cannot be in the middle of a gunfight and try to reload this weapon, or if enemies are pursuing you and they're running towards you, you are not going to get this weapon reloaded before the enemies get right up on your face. I couldn't tell you how many times I was fighting like the robots or the bugs and they were off in the distance. I ran out of ammo, tried to reload, and the enemies were just right up on me before I could get this thing fully reloaded. And there's something weird with the reload animation. It looks like you're done reloading, but then it takes another like 2 seconds after you think it's done to fully reload. So the reload time on this weapon being so slow is one of the major negatives that this weapon has. And since this weapon comes with only 2 magazines, you're going to be running out of ammo left and right. And if you want to get the most out of this heavy machine gun, you basically have to pair it with a supply backpack. Otherwise, you're going to be out of ammo pretty much constantly. And that's a pretty big downside, that you have to use 2 stratagems to see the full benefit of just one support weapon. So let's talk the 3 different firing modes. There's 450 RPM, 750 RPM, and 1200 RPM. The recoil is absolutely insane for this weapon, so the only way you can use it is if you go prone. If you try to use this standing up or on the run, it's just going to be so inaccurate that you're never going to hit any of your shots. So when you're using the heavy machine gun, I recommend you try to go at like medium range and try to use the 450 RPM. That way it's more controlled and you're going to get the most benefit out of your shots. Now the 750 RPM is the default setting, and it's, you know, it's okay, but the problem with the 750 and the 1200 is that it goes through the ammo so quickly. I mean, like I said, you only have 2 magazines, and with these 2 firing modes, you are firing them off insanely fast. I only recommend these 2 firing modes if something's getting straight up into your face and you have no other option. But if you try to use the 1200 RPM and you go prone and you try to accurately hit a target, good luck. This thing just kicks way too hard. Which brings up the next point, and it's that this weapon has to be aimed down sight. It's kind of the same as the anti-material rifle. There is no third person aiming with this. You have to go into first person if you want to aim. Otherwise, you're just firing from the hip and you have no idea where your bullets are going to go, and it's insanely inaccurate. So if you're not a fan of those type of weapons where you have to aim in first person, then I would probably steer away from this. So overall, I am not a big fan of the heavy machine gun. I'm sure someone out there is going to make a video and they're like, this is the best weapon in the game, and they're going to give you like a million reasons. And they might be right. But for me, I picked up the Quasar Cannon. It was easy. I just pulled the trigger. Everything blew up. But for the heavy machine gun, I was trying for a couple hours just to get some decent gameplay that I could show you guys, and I was struggling hard. Now the heavy machine gun can hit hard. I was able to blow up a tank with it. Like if you get up behind it and you shoot it in the weak spot, it will blow up a tank, but it doesn't have very good armor penetrating, so it's going to struggle against the Bile Titan, it's going to struggle against chargers and stuff like that. And overall, I'm not a big fan of the heavy machine gun. It might grow on me over time, but honestly, I like both the Stalwart and the regular machine gun better than this heavy machine gun. I was hoping that this heavy machine gun would feel more like a minigun, and I've really been wanting a minigun in this game, but it just isn't doing it for me. I think the Quasar Cannon is by far the better of the 2 new options, and that's the one I'm going to be sticking with. I mean, if I have the option of a cannon that has unlimited ammo that can one-shot kill chargers and Bile Titans and tanks versus a heavy machine gun that's going to run out of ammo constantly and requires me to carry an additional backpack just to give myself more ammo, and it's super inaccurate, and I wasn't able to get very many kills with it, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me, but hey, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's a skill issue and I just suck and I need some more practice with it, but that's my first impressions of the heavy machine gun. And honestly, I think if they just made the magazines instead of 75 rounds and just bumped it up to 100, or just gave you a 3rd additional magazine, that alone would be enough to make this weapon just a little bit better, and I could justify using it over some of the other support weapons. It's just there's so many downsides that I just don't recommend using this until they give it some sort of buff. But that is going to do it for my first impressions of both of the brand new stratagems, the Quasar Cannon and the Heavy Machine Gun. Let me know what you guys think of both of the new weapons down in the comment section down below. If you have any tips for using both of these weapons, let me know down in the comments, and I will be sure to give it a heart so other members of the community can see it as well. So that is going to do it for me, guys. If you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button and hitting the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss out on any future Helldivers 2 videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all next time.